Imagine this scene, a bustling morning in a typical household. The sun rises softly through the curtains as birds begin their early chorus outside. Inside, there's chaos mixed with quiet determination. The coffee maker whirs to life, its rhythmic hum filling the air while someone grumbles slightly about another day of decisions. In just moments, this ordinary routine will set the stage for a complex dance, your body and mind preparing to face an endless stream of choices. From what clothes you wear to which route you take to work, every decision is like a flicker in the vast landscape of your daily life. But there's something magical about these decisions that we often overlook. As the coffee brews, one might pour themselves into it and think, does this really matter? Yet within seconds, they've chosen their favorite mug without even realizing it. These simple acts, like choosing a cup, are actually part of a larger pattern known as habit loops. Habit loops are like hidden guides that shape our days and decisions. Now imagine stepping back from all the small choices and seeing them in a broader perspective. Each decision we make, big or small, adds to a pile of mental effort called decision fatigue. It's the feeling you get when you've been making so many choices throughout the day that each new one feels harder than the last. Yet this morning routine is more than just a series of decisions. It's a prime example of how our brain operates on autopilot much of the time. We follow familiar patterns without even thinking about them, conserving mental energy for when we really need to make choices, like deciding which path your career might take or what you'll do with that extra money. So let's dive into this fascinating world where habits and decision fatigue meet. How can understanding these concepts transform the way we approach our daily lives? And more importantly, how can they help us make better decisions when it really matters? In a moment, I will guide you through the intricate dance of habit in the bustling city of New York. The morning sun rises slowly over towering skyscrapers. The streets come alive as people rush to start their day. Among them is Sarah, a young woman in her early 30s, who heads towards work with a determined step. She stops at a small coffee shop and orders her usual latte. As she walks away, she glances down at the phone screen displaying emails from colleagues awaiting responses. Sarah's daily routine isn't just about work, it's a pattern of habits that have become second nature to her. This morning ritual is part of something called a habit loop, a concept first popularized by Charles Duhigg in his book The Power of Habit. A habit loop consists of three parts: the cue, the routine, and the reward. For Sarah, seeing the coffee sign triggers the habit, the cue. She then grabs her latte, the routine, and finally enjoys a momentary pleasure, the reward. Habit loops are powerful because they are automatic processes that free up mental energy for other tasks. But what happens when these habits become too numerous? This is where decision fatigue comes into play. Decision fatigue occurs when the brain gets tired from making choices, leading to poor decisions and reduced willpower. Sarah starts her day by choosing clothes, deciding on breakfast, prioritizing emails, and even selecting a route to work, all of which are small but significant decisions. By mid-morning, she finds herself less focused and more prone to distractions. The phenomenon of decision fatigue was first observed in experiments conducted at the University of Minnesota. In one study, participants were asked to make numerous decisions about different items such as food or office supplies throughout the day. As time passed, their performance on complex tasks declined significantly compared to a control group that made fewer choices. This research highlighted how our ability to resist temptation and maintain self-control diminishes over time. To understand decision fatigue better, imagine you're at a buffet with an endless variety of in the bustling metropolis of our modern lives. We often find ourselves overwhelmed by choices. Every morning, as you wake up to the familiar hum of the city outside your window, countless decisions await. What will I wear today? Should I take public transportation or drive? How much time should I spend on social media? These small choices might seem insignificant in isolation, but collectively they form a vast landscape where our lives are shaped. This is the world of habit loops and decision fatigue, two powerful forces that influence every aspect of how we live. Habit loops start with a cue, followed by a routine, and end with a reward. It's like a dance that your brain has learned over time. For instance, when you wake up in the morning, stretching is your cue, making coffee becomes your ritual, and enjoying the warmth of that first sip provides your reward. This loop might feel automatic, but it's actually your brain looking for efficiency, saving mental energy by automating repetitive tasks. Now imagine if every single decision became a new habit to establish. How exhausting would that be? That's where decision fatigue comes into play. Decision fatigue refers to the decrease in self-control and willpower as you make more decisions throughout the day. It's like having to choose between different flavors of ice cream over and over again. Let's dive deeper into how these two forces interact within our daily lives. Picture a morning routine that begins with hitting snooze multiple times before finally rising. This decision itself can deplete your willpower for subsequent choices, such as what clothes to wear or which route to take to work. By the time you reach your desk, you might find yourself less focused and more prone to distractions. Research shows that people who are experiencing high levels of decision fatigue often make poorer choices. They may choose unhealthy snacks over fruits because picking apples requires a bit more mental effort than grabbing cookies from the break room. Over time, these small decisions compound into habits that can, as we delve deeper into the world of habit loops and decision fatigue. Imagine yourself stepping into a bustling city square. People are moving about, some walking briskly to work, others leisurely enjoying their morning coffee. Each person's routine is unique yet familiar, like a dance choreographed by time itself. Habit loops form the backbone of these routines. They're like invisible threads that weave through our days, connecting actions and outcomes without us even realizing it. Let's explore how they work. Picture A simple scenario: you wake up in the morning, brush your teeth, get dressed, and head out for breakfast. Over time, this sequence becomes automatic. Your brain doesn't have to consciously decide each step, it just does. This automation happens because of a three-step process: cue, routine, reward. A cue triggers the habit loop, making us aware that an action is necessary. The routine follows, and then we receive a reward, which reinforces this behavior. This cycle creates strong neural pathways in our brain, making these actions feel effortless and habitual. Imagine the same person you saw earlier deciding to switch up their morning routine by adding a quick jog or meditation session before breakfast. At first, it might seem difficult because they have to consciously decide on each step: wake up early enough for exercise, find time for meditation, prepare for running or sitting still. But with consistent effort and positive reinforcement, perhaps feeling more energized after the run or calmer from meditation, the new routine becomes just as automatic as brushing teeth. Now let's zoom out a bit to understand how these loops impact our daily lives. Habits make us efficient. They free up cognitive resources for other tasks. However, when we try to change too many habits at once, it can be overwhelming. Just like trying to juggle multiple balls in the air, adding new routines might cause us to drop old ones. This leads us into a fascinating concept called decision fatigue. You see, making decisions uses up our willpower. The power of habit loops is a fascinating concept that can influence our daily lives in profound ways. Imagine waking up each morning to the same routine: brushing your teeth, making coffee, getting dressed for work. These habits are often so ingrained that they require little conscious effort. But what happens when we step out of those routines? What if, one day, you wake up and decide to make a change? Decision fatigue is another aspect of this topic that's worth exploring. Have you ever noticed how harder it can be to choose something to eat or watch after having made several other decisions throughout the day? It's like your brain gets tired from all those choices. These habits and decision-making gating processes are not just abstract concepts. They have real-world implications that affect our productivity, relationships, health, and overall quality of life. Let's delve into some practical examples to understand how these phenomena play out in everyday situations. In the workplace, for instance, a common scenario is arriving at your desk with a stack of emails waiting for you. You might start by sorting through them, but soon find yourself feeling overwhelmed. The sheer number of decisions, priority levels, which ones can wait, who needs an immediate response, can drain your mental energy. This decision fatigue can lead to procrastination or even poor quality work as the day progresses. On a personal level, consider meal choices throughout the week. If you make healthy eating habits part of your routine, it's easier to stick with them because these decisions are automated through habit loops. However, if every day starts off with a decision about breakfast, lunch, and dinner, that constant need for choice can wear down your willpower over time. Health is another area where these concepts have significant implications. Regular exercise becomes much more manageable when it's part of your daily routine rather than something you decide each morning whether to do or not. Similarly, maintaining a consistent sleep schedule helps regulate the body's internal clock and supports overall health. In social interactions, habits can. As we explore the intricate world of habit loops and decision fatigue, it's clear that our daily choices are not just random acts but part of a complex system. Understanding these principles can transform how we approach life's challenges. Imagine waking up each morning with an empty slate, your brain ready to make countless decisions throughout your day. From choosing what to eat for breakfast to deciding which route to take to work, every choice is like adding another stone on the path you walk. Over time, decision fatigue sets in. It's that feeling of mental exhaustion as our choices start piling up. But there's a silver lining here. By recognizing and harnessing the power of habit loops, those automatic behaviors we perform without much thought, we can save energy for more significant decisions. Think about how you brush your teeth every morning or tie your shoes. These actions are so ingrained that they barely consume any mental resources. We can apply this principle to other areas of our lives as well. Consider the power of creating new habits through small, consistent steps. For instance, if you want to start meditating regularly, begin with just 2 minutes a day. As it becomes a habit, gradually increase the time. This approach not only makes adopting healthier behaviors easier but also helps reduce decision fatigue by automating parts of your routine. Moreover, understanding how habits work can help us break free from negative cycles. Take social media use as an example. Many find themselves mindlessly scrolling through feeds during breaks or before bed. By identifying the cues that trigger this behavior and replacing them with healthier alternatives, like reading a book instead, you can shift away from harmful patterns. The key is to be mindful of your choices, but not overwhelmed by them. Each decision matters, yet we needn't treat every moment as if it were a life or death scenario. By breaking down complex decisions into smaller, manageable steps and automating routine tasks through habit loops, we can preserve our mental energy for the moments that truly count. In many ways, growth is a ladder, not a leap. Subscribe and keep climbing.